This is the theme of Setback and Blood Out. Resolving setback, Michael helps David's girlfriend select frames. So again, there's this sort of mocking or reverse mocking, but it is Arturo says to the victor goes the spoils, and then Zed says, "I'm going to take your whole empire." I don't think Zed is really capable of taking his whole empire. Why would you need a blood match in order to accomplish that? If Zed was truly capable of crossing territories to take someone's full empire, he would have done it already. So he's speaking from a place of ego as well as past successes, I guess, at killing people or something like that. But I don't think he's quite as capable as he's presenting himself to be here. So then we have Michael confronting Zed. Anya gave some signal to somebody that we don't know. We didn't see her give a signal, but we now see where Gloria was, and that they had Gloria the whole time. But it isn't clear how Gloria knew them, and how they found out about her, and if they know who um, Michael is. And it's not clear if they really understand that Michael is a cop, undercover cop, or that he's just David's brother. You know, it may be just assumed that they know he's a cop and that they had to kidnap her, um, to get at him. But there was just kind of like some uncertainty here. But they do have Gloria. Um, Zed is holding a gun to Michael, and he's going to hold a gun to her belly as well. So then he kidnaps Gloria with the gun, throws her in the car, and the cops enter and Billy fights, right? And I don't know, it's just interesting how, if you were going to kidnap Gloria, why didn't you kidnap Gloria to get at David? So something is off. I wonder if Gloria contacted them to try to get at something, because remember, Gloria is kind of reckless. She's really no different than Squat. They make reckless decisions, and I wonder if she was trying to get at him, because usually when help is on the way, when it's time for you to accept help, you try to do something to keep from getting it, right? To keep from accepting it. So I wonder if she contacted them and told them who Michael was, and then they turned around and used her against Michael. I just wonder. It's just something to think about. So Michael gets on this motorcycle to try to go after Zed to rescue um, Gloria, and we haven't seen him on a motorcycle since the time that he made a decision to go undercover. So this motorcycle has been there because if anything, he's been riding in the car with Anthony. So this is kind of interesting that he's on this motorcycle. So he ends up catching up to them and then hopping onto the car. And this scene has them going back and forth on the car. Saying it's kind of like going back and forth on your argument, right? Zed shoots through the hood of the car, and then somehow the car ends up losing its grip somehow, and then it crashes, it tumbles and it crashes over whatever, and Gloria is unconscious in the car. And so he runs to pull her out, and then Zed stands on top of the car, holds a gun to them both, but he's shot in the back by Anya. And then she walks up to Zed and says, right before she shoots him, "Blood in, blood out." And Zed lies on the ground just like David did in the beginning. So it's kind of like bookends, right? The writer-director is, sort of bookending the film the same way that Zed dug a ditch for somebody and killed that person and he was laying on the ground. Zed ends up the same exact way. The interesting thing is we still don't see where Anthony is. Where is Anthony? I wonder too if Anthony said something, because we don't see him. He said he's going to go ghost, but for what reason? Why would he need to go ghost? Regardless, though, I'm bothered by Anya when she comes and walks. So I can understand her shooting Zed in the back because he had a gun. But when she walks up to him and says blood in, blood out, I thought her goal was to be an undercover federal agent gathering evidence to bring them to justice. Why is she personally killing him and not arresting him? And that's something that it's funny that she pushes this moral imperative to Michael about this is bigger than you, when she ends up becoming the person who does exactly the same thing that she's accusing him of doing, almost, vigilante justice. So she bothers me. She bothers me because it's just interesting that she takes that particular route and not the route that she's supposed to take. So she really ends up no different than Michael. Michael doesn't shoot Zed. He's not even really looking to kill anybody, but she ends up killing somebody. I don't know. Just something about that really bothers me. And so the car is tumbled over, right? She ends up in the car unconscious, and so he pulls her out. And then Zed is holding the gun, for which Anya is going to kill him in the back, shoot him in the back. She shoots him, right? And then she holds the gun to him, blood in, blood out. And that's her face. And this face right here, I don't remember this face at the beginning, but it's definitely a blank face. It's a different face than what she was showing at the beginning of the film, throughout the middle of the film, and now to this end of the film. And you almost have to wonder, is she who she says she is? Because what is this on her arm? Is this a snake on her arm as a tattoo? I don't know. But she just doesn't look like who she says she is. And so here's Zed on the ground. Remember how David was exactly the same way. So we are at the end of the film with this is right after Anya has shot Zed and said blood in, blood out. And this is Michael appealing to Gloria again to come stay with him so he can get her back on her feet. But he's giving her an ultimatum, or it comes with conditions. No drugs, no games, or else I would have to lock you up. What's interesting about this scene is we don't see her brother, right, of course. But I also think this is interesting because remember how Michael was holding the hand of that little girl with the meth lab operation, and she ended up dying? He's now holding this girl's hand, even though she's an older lady. It's almost symbolic, as if the girl had grown up throughout this, film space. But he's holding her, so he couldn't save the little girl, but he's going to do his best to save this young girl here. And so I just thought that was interesting. I didn't catch it before, and I caught it. I'm basically catching it now, and decided to re-record. And so she's going to have to make change in her life. There's no way in the world, because she's carrying a child, and she's carrying, David's child. And I don't think Michael is going to so easily let her go. But I also think it's interesting that her brother is not here. Anthony is nowhere near around. And so, again, we don't know where Anthony is. He did say he's going to go ghost, but it's interesting that he's not here. So this is the end of the film. Hopefully you were able to gain some insight. He tells Anya at the end right here that I think we got it from here. And then this basically ends the film. So these types of films, I didn't expect it to go this long. But the thing about these types of films like Blood Out or any type of film that sort of presents a cautionary tale, you want to take your time with. There's so much that goes on in these films, and this is rich with, you know, opportunity to analyze. Again, this is not a critique, but it's just looking at the concept of setback and applying it to different areas within the film, and looking at the totality of setback as a concept and how it might be reflected in film. So I'm very glad you were able to get through the whole thing. And we're going to finish out the process with applying the 7 stages of setback to gain more insight. All right, so hopefully you were able to gain some insight from this lecture. Please like, subscribe, and like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can visit my website, reginawhyfavors.com. You can always send me an email. Please purchase the book when it comes out. It's going to come out approximately August 2021. I needed to make some changes to it and do some final editing. So the book title is Overcoming Setback, 5 Keys for Entering and Exiting Correction. Thank you for listening to this audio. Have a great day.